Welcome to the first ever chess solution training video. If you want to know the theories behind this, you can watch this video. But in this video, we're just going to do the training. So what you're going to see is 10 positions, 10 solutions, and then 3 test exercises at the end. All you have to do is watch the video and absorb the material. Okay, let's get on with it. First position, we have patterns jumping out everywhere, but this one should be the most important one that comes to mind. If we can get the queen to this square, we have checkmating potential, but the bishop's in the way, so just get rid of the damn thing. Takes, queen gets into the key square. Right, white has nothing else. White has nothing else. Next, this position, we've got a lot of tension around the d5 square, and we have this bishop that's hanging in the original position. So which capture is correct? You don't have to calculate, you just have to watch, observe the materials. Which capture is correct? Bishop capture is correct, because if bishop takes, we're a piece up. If after bishop takes, this bishop takes e7, queen takes, and then we have queen takes, this bishop winning a piece due to the pin on the queen. Next position, position 3. The most important relevant thing in this one is this passed pawn, and obviously the queen against the other minor pieces. We have also a bishop. Totally not relevant. What's relevant in this position is tempo on the rook. Rook moves away. Say for this square, for example, trying to block the pawn promotion, we just have mate in 2. Right, and if instead of this we have rook coming to something like this, then we just push the pawn. Something like that is possible. Next. This position, we are trying to get at the king with the queen. The queen's in the way. We've got this passed pawn. So all these things are elements in the position. What you want to do is bring the rook to the e-file, knocking back the queen, and then check with the queen. Right, and then black is forced to exchange. We take with the pawn, we push the pawn up the board. If in this position we take with the queen, thinking that we can just play this move, then we're sadly mistaken, because king has got space to come to g7 and white's thrown the win away. Next position. Right, this one, endgame position. It's black to play. What we're going to do, we're going to push this pawn, because if pawn takes, then we're just going to push this to promotion. And if not, then we're just going to go, let's say white takes here. Then what can we play? Well, we can just take with check, and then we can start pushing this pawn. Okay, next. This position, relevant elements in this position. The king is fairly exposed to checks, but the one that we're interested in is this one, but not yet. Not yet. First, we're going to get a tempo on the rook. Rook's going to move away. Now we're going to check the king. King moves back, and we pick up this bishop. Next position. This is quite a complex position. Lots of stuff going on in this position, but the relevant point here is this idea of this knight check. Right, but it doesn't quite work yet. Neither does taking. But what we can do is we put the knight forking these two pieces, and if takes, then now we have rook takes, knight check, winning the queen thanks to the pin. We also have to be aware of a different counter by black, knight d4. We're going to play knight d4's position. You don't have to think about it, I'm just going to show you. That's the point. In this position, we've got to be aware of the knight fork ourselves. So we're going to take the knight away, and then if queen takes, now we don't play takes, because pawn takes, and then we don't have this move. Instead, we immediately go knight f6 check, knight takes, rook takes. Next position. Right, in this position, we want to get the queen in here as quickly as possible. So that's what we do. Queen in, threatening checkmate. Rook across, blocking that. Rook across, just threatening to win here. Black's got nothing more than a spike check. Nothing else to write home about. King can throw himself away, we just take it. Next position. Position 9, we're going well. We're doing well. This one. Rook takes, queen takes, knight check is in the position. That pattern should jump out, but rook takes, and the queen doesn't have to take. We could just take this. So actually, the position and the move here is bishop coming to deflect the queen, Right, we take the knight. We take a bishop. Doesn't matter because we're going to bring the bishop to c5 and then we're going to force down a checkmate. If, for example, in this position, like I said, we take with rook, it just doesn't work. So you have to look at that pattern, but then you see that you calculate that it doesn't quite work. We have moves like this, for example, and white is pretty much busted. Last position. Okay, this one, first move's pretty obvious. We take the rook with check, but then this gets a little bit more tricky. Which pawn do we push? Well, we're not going to calculate. We're just going to look at the solution. That's the idea. We're going to go f4, blocking this square. Right, and then if g5, we're going to block this square again. If g4, then we're going to play h4, and then we're on here. The problem with an early h4 is that black has g5 and this square. Okay, so that's all 10 positions. So what I'll recommend you do now is go back to the start of the video, watch them all again, and then get ready for the test that follows. Okay, let's say I've got on then. And so we're going to play it in this position. Well done if you found this move and remembered it. Picking up the bishop. Test 2, what are you going to play in this position? Rook takes, I'll give you immediately. Which pawn? Can you remember which pawn it is? Of course you can. f4. And then f5. And then h4. And there's nothing stopping in this. Right, test number 3. Which piece is going to capture? Can you remember? Of course you can. Bishop takes. Bishop takes. Bishop takes. Queen takes. Knight takes. And that's the 3. So if you like this video, give me a subscribe, thumbs up and all that business. Then I'll know to do more of these. There's also a Lichess study of all of these. I'll put the link in the description. Thank you. Goodbye.